All right, thank you for joining us. We begin with a tumble on Wall Street. Investors reacted negatively to the Federal Reserve's decision to hold rates steady and to Chair Kevin Warsh's new strategy of saying less is more. For the fifth consecutive time, the central bank voted 9-3 to keep its benchmark rates unchanged. The dissenters wanting to hike rates 0.25% as they try to get close to their target inflation rate of 2%. It is not very typical to have such a disagreement on rate setting. The Dow Jones dropped more than 1,100 points, or nearly 2.2%, after hitting a record high earlier this month. The Nasdaq fell around 2%, ending the day 9% below its record last month. The S&P 500 fell 1.5%, hitting its lowest level in a month. Brent crude shot up 7% to $88 a barrel amid renewed fighting with Iran Tuesday. Jordan's air defense has stopped a surprise Iranian attack, intercepting 5 missiles. And the U.S. and Saudi Arabia launched attacks against Iranian-backed forces in Iraq. The president in the Oval Office today saying it's our turn. They know it's coming.
We're going to hit them very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because in that, there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized. But, you know, we got to smack them a little bit.
Joining me now is Richard Escobedo. He covers economic policy for CBS News. Richard, there's clearly uncertainty. Investors don't like that. What else is behind this sell-off?
Well, chiefly financial markets are spooked that the Fed might be behind the ball on taming inflation, which has been running above target for the last couple of months. Energy costs, for example, are still up 16% compared to this time last year. But investors were hoping for some clear signal from the Fed that it will do what it takes to get high prices under control, including raising rates. Chair Warsh indicated that if prices remain elevated higher, rates could, quote, be part of the solution, but he didn't make a firm commitment today. His remarks, plus those continued upward pressures on oil prices and some AI earnings misses, also fueled today's sell-off.
Well, President Trump reiterated today that he wants rates to be cut. He accused the Fed board of being political. What does the current dissent on the board tell you? And did we learn anything on any plans for the future?
That fractured vote really is a signal that some policymakers, Neil Kashkari of Minneapolis, Beth Hammack of Cleveland, and Lori Logan of Dallas, all members of that rate-setting committee at the Fed, they think higher rates are needed to bring down high prices. So that's what we learned from that. The one thing that was certain, though, is that Warsh will continue with press conferences through the end of the year, so reporters will still get to ask him questions and try and get insight into where the Fed and interest rate policy will be going.
Richard Escobedo, thank you.